Welcome to Battle for Biternia, the
Epic.
Pixelvania Hero Pack. My name is Matt Kisner, lead developer for the Pixelvania Hero Pack, and I am here with my longtime friend and co-developer, Jonathan Teixeira-Moffat, this evening to preview the Pixelvania Hero Pack for you. John, how you doing?
Doing awesome. Thank you so much for choosing to torture me instead of one of the other guys.
So John is highlighting, of course, that he is going to be beaten like a rag doll for your amusement this evening. So as you're going to see over the next few minutes as we go through the drafting of heroes with you, John and I have a drastically different approach to both the development process and the actual hero selection process. I'm going to be taking a little bit more of a high concept, high skill approach, and well, we're going to give John the first pick, and he's going to tell you and show you a little bit of his approach.
Oh boy. So I like to start with some of the core heroes just because I know what they can do. I know they're reliable. I just want to someone that can deal some damage. I'm going to start off with Sterling the Archer. That way I can kill you from as far away as I damn well please. There's not a thing you can do about it.
Shut right to the heart. In the base set, there's a lot of heroes, kind of like the Archer, who do a really direct thing, and that's not a slanderous thing to say. I love Sterling Archer. I got introduced to the danger zone in my wedding. Suffice to say, I'm a fan, folks. Objectively speaking, not necessarily the best first pick. I mean, I got to dump on him a little bit, right? But tell me why you took the Archer. Because
you put that so well spoken, like someone who's angry that I took the Archer before.
Yeah, I think there's a reason. I think there's a reason, and it's a great pick. But why don't you explain your thought process?
No, absolutely. And it's the Archer, as you said, is not the best here, but I'm going to immediately be able to establish that I can damage you from wherever I want, and I can control where the battles happen.
And I think it's that last bit, folks, that is such an important key, because John knows how I want to play this.
If I can make a prediction.
Sure.
I just based on what I know about you, and again, we've played a number of games, I know that you don't like, just like me, having your options taken away. But more importantly, you like to be able to catch me with my pants down, which means you need to be able to get places where I don't expect you to be or get places that other heroes can't. I'm guessing you're going to pick someone that has a little bit of a high damage output and a lot of mobility. That's my prediction. How close was I?
It's like this guy helped design the heroes with us. Absolutely. That's the definition of what I'm going to want to play. And that's really what the Pixelvania set is about, is all the creatures and things that go bump in the night or the people who take them on. I always kept that in my heart as, what are the sorts of tricks that these people would need to survive in this unforgiving and hostile place? So these are people who can really dictate circumstances and survive what might be really tough conditions for other people. So with all that in mind, I am going to take the Spider Queen first, a highly mobile person who does a lot of damage.
Oh, yeah, no, that makes sense. So you've got your damage, you've got your mobility, and you've got some control in counter mobility. So the fun thing about the spider, not only is Spider Queen very fast, but her forte is making sure that you are not fast.
Exactly. The way we would describe that in the game is she has a lot of movement ability, which you're going to see with her passive, which I think is really neat, but she also has a lot of immobilize in her kit. So I'm thinking to myself now, after I've made my first pick, so I took an assassin hero who's a little bit more survivable than a traditional assassin, who has high map utility, which means she can move around and she's going to have a lot of map presence, and she's going to have the ability to dictate circumstances. Or in League of Legends or Dota, something like that, we might have called that a pick play, right? So this is somebody who's going to be adept at setting up a pick. So who else might I want that can do some sort of gameplay like that? I'm going to be looking, as I said, for a little bit of a more survivable map mobile character, and I'm going to go with the new Werewolf. So where the Spider Queen has some inherent map mobility with her passive, the Werewolf has a couple abilities that give him some extra movement. But what's really neat about him is the way his passive works with his abilities. So he has this very transparent synergy where he wants to be doing things when he uses his ability cards, so he can be telegraphed a little bit. So there's a little bit of obvious counterplay to him. But boy, when you set things up right, like say if somebody can't move away from you, there's a lot of damage potential hiding in that wolf.
The tricky thing with the mobile heroes is that you need to either find a way to kill them, chase them down and kill them, or limit their options. I know for a fact that Matt likes those high DPS but somewhat fragile heroes, which means maybe I can set up something to get them in bad positions where I can kill them quickly by separating them from the pack. I think I'm actually going to surprise you. I'm going to go for pack separation, but also a little bit of utility. I'm actually going to pick the new expansion hero, the Slayer.
I love it.
He can play around a little bit, but he's also a little bit higher damage output than you'd expect, given the fact that he's a medium class hero.
You're talking about first picks, the support, utility, and ability to reposition people. It's really unmatched. And I think one of the key concepts that players can miss when they first start looking at both Battle for Biternia and Pixelvania is just how important it is to be the person deciding when an encounter occurs. And I know that sounds really obvious out loud and a little bit intuitive, I hope, having played the games and the MOBAs this is all based on, but you want to be the person who decides when the fight starts, because if you don't, it's probably not to your advantage, right, John?
100%. No, it's the thing that stymies new players, I think, is how small the board looks, but really the distance between spaces, unless you have range, is insurmountable. And so being able to control that tempo, being able to move one extra space or control one extra turn, control that initiative is hugely important for deciding when it's going to be a dust up and when it's just going to be an evisceration. All right, so now you've given me someone that I can't just push around and I can't just ignore. Deal with the werewolf and the Spider Queen. I got to either outmaneuver you or out tank you, I think, or
hear me out.
Or I can out utility you.
Oh.
I've already got a good amount of range. The Slayer has a little bit of range. Archer obviously is built on range. If you crack him open, look at his rings, it's just range all the way to the core.
Range is 95% of what he does, John.
I mean, he's an archer. But I think actually I'm going to lean into the range and utility. I'm actually going to go Artificer.
Oh.
I don't use her very much, but I think for this, I'm going to go ahead and grab her. Just because she's got that surprise. She's tougher than she looks. She's a little bit more damage than she thinks. As long as you can manage the tempo of keeping her tokens face up, it might require you to spend some turns resting, but that's fine. As long as you can manage that tempo, she's got more damage and she's tougher than anybody else. Plus, she's got some range and some area. It gives me a little bit of flexibility, but also you can't stay out of my range. And that's what I like, being able to shoot you.
I'm going to narrow how toolsy my team is and draft a little bit conservatively because, frankly, I'm a little stunned by what John's doing. And so, again, I'm going to opt for something with high mobility, but I'm really going to look on the tankier range of that mobility. So while John and I have extolled the virtues of Saralyn, that's not quite what I'm looking for this round. So instead, I'm going to grab Agatha Trunch, the map mobile tank Minotaur. John, which way do you think I'm going?
I'm honestly surprised you've ignored range, and that makes me very, very suspicious you're going to try to trap me. I think you're going to go for something that's going to lock me down. I'm very worried about getting pinned in a corner now.
Folks, I'm going to go for something that tries to lock him down.
God!
So I'm going to grab the Bone Mage. The Bone Mage is probably my favorite of the heroes in the base hero pack, and that's because it was the one I think I had the strongest hand in developing. It's very reflective of the things I like to do. It's a strangely survivable, tanky mage who doesn't do a ton of damage, but has some range damage, range to mobile, or has an immobilize, which we've heard I love and really fits in well with my team. I think I've rounded out the team well here with sort of a survivable utility DPS mage who can also help me, again, dictate those terms of encounter and engagement and offer a little bit of survivability at the same time. There's not a lot of heroes that I'm afraid of him picking off. There are many of his heroes he should be fearful of having picked. What do you think, John?
Yeah, now I'm really worried you're going to pin me in a corner and just leave me there while you win the game.
Well, we hope that's the title of the video clip when we're done with this. We'll know things have gone my way. So what do you think?
Okay, no, you caught me. I do have the one little hole in my usual strategy, which is someone who's survivable, that if I need to, can march up to your tower and start working on that. I've got a lot of damage in Runica and the Slayer and some range from all three of them, so I can pick away. But if I really want to hit it hard, I'm going to have to stand under it. I need someone that can stand under a tower. More importantly, I'm thinking I need someone that can survive being ganged up 3-1 as you outmaneuver me horribly. and I think you knew this was coming at some point. I can't help myself. This is my pocket pick. I just can't, as a person, as a
You're
human
not
being, my soul can't allow me
This is
to
such a
have a
good
pirate on my team. I waited until pick 4, Matt. You let me get away with this. This is on you now.
This is on me.
This is on you.
I felt like drafting him away from you
Just to stop me.
on my team. So John sort of used the term here, pocket picks. I don't know if everyone's familiar with, but essentially they're a hero or in a champion ability, anything in another game of this nature that may not be the best from a pure statistical and objective assessment perspective, but they work for you. And whether or not the pirate really works for John is up for grabs, so much as John might actually be a pirate. And I think he just feels a general kinship with anyone who has an ability named Yar.
Worst case, no matter how much you beat me, I can pull out his grog card, just get drunk and sit back on the other side of the board and enjoy the view. So we're picking orders simultaneously. Each of us picks a card for each of our heroes. This is kind of the fog of war sort of idea. We have some idea what's going to happen, but not a full picture.
Right. It's an informed mystery, an educated guess, if you will.
Right. At the very least, it lets us think we're clever before we do something really stupid.
Oh, no. I know I'm clever, but that doesn't preclude me from doing something stupid. So with that in mind, I'll go ahead and make the first move. So I'm going to feel pretty comfortable making an aggressive first posture of the Minotaur. If I were playing somebody else top lane, I might have moved a little softer there, but he's a big, beefy dude, and I'm not too concerned about him being out on an island.
Okay, I'll see that. I'm going to go ahead and send my pirate out to forge his own destiny right here, sort of in the middle of the board, for no particular reason I'm going to tell you.
No particular reason. Well, that's a really good reason.
It's also the primary source of inspiration for all my actions with the pirate. No particular reason. He's just got to do things.
Yeah.
Hashtag Yar.
I too will take a brief sojourn into the mysterious space between things.
This makes sense. That's the Minotaur. So let's see. We've sort of maneuvered around each other. I think I'm going to move my Artificer, mirroring the pirate, to sort of cover the jungles here. None of us is committed to the center, which is interesting.
Yeah, although I wouldn't say particularly uncommon given the sort of level of play here. Both of us are pretty well aware of how quickly it can go wrong to be out there this early.
That's fair.
However, I do get first activate, which is something that can't necessarily be ignored. So I'm going to display at least a small degree of bravery and send a pup forward.
Okay. I'm going to say my Slayer, yet unnamed, is going to stand right where he is.
He would. All right. So this hasn't necessarily played out how I was hoping or wanted it to, but that's always a good sign in this game for both players, probably. So where do I really want to move the Bone Mage? I don't know as though I do. It's a very tenuous first turn for all involved. I think I'm going to hold the Bone Mage where he is.
So just to interrupt for a minute, guys, I'm the face behind the camera, and it's very difficult to see which hero is on which team because in our tabletop simulator version, it doesn't have the same little plastic colored pieces that the game has. So I have just colorized all of the towers, all the structures, all the heroes so that they match the team that they're on, and that should make it a lot more interesting going forward when we watch your brilliant displays of tactical ingenuity.
I appreciate the credit you're giving us, but that's brilliant, Aaron. Thank you.
All right, so I believe we were at the we were on Red's movement.
Better red than dead, they always say, or at least I say. So
I never said that.
Many people say that. I've heard it. The Bone Mage will be staying where he is, completing our very cautious first dance around the board, at least on my side.
It is indeed cautious. I think I will, in fact, do something I have never done before and move the archer to the bit.
Wow. This is such a defensive posture. We've both taken against each other. Well, so I
After
think
all these years, I don't care if I win. I just want to surprise you once.
well, so I think there's a few. So let's kind of do the big overview very quickly here of how we moved and positioned our pieces. So on my end, I'm respecting the Slayer's pull ability. So you've positioned him very strategically where he's kind of at the middle of everything, and you've left 2 heroes there and basically said, I'm here, you can come touch me. But it would likely be very dangerous to do so. So that's why I'm playing a little bit back. I don't know where your head's at, John. What are you thinking of now that you've moved?
So you start off very predictably, spreading out with your, again, very mobile team. The fact that your Bone Mage is sitting back there either means you're being cautious or I have very much underestimated what the hell you're up to.
So
You do have initiative, so you get to surprise me first.
I get to surprise you first. What do I want to do here? You know, I did have a grand plan, and it was a very good plan, if I may say so.
No, I believe you.
So I'm going to activate the werewolf. And I'm going to dash, I think, somewhat unsurprisingly. Where am I dashing to? Who am I dashing to? Tell me a story, Mr. Werewolf.
I think it's to whom am I dashing?
Said the spider to the wolf. Come see me, my friend. So I pull back a little bit, and I force you to hopefully show a little bit of your hand. So go ahead, John.
That's fair. That's fair. Let me see. All is not lost, he said, as he revealed the fact that the archer was going to do a snapshot, which will move me back into position to control the center of the board.
Spider will, as I somewhat intended, discard her. What I believe I can now reveal to be a strike. Good gold.
For some gold.
Money, 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 cash.
Just
money.
1 gold, not in a center spot, so just 1. Okay.
Yep. And again, this is us both being, I think, a little bit defensive and strategic, but it's also sort of an engineered move for me with the spider because of her passive, which I'll talk a little bit more about if and when it gets to trigger.
Okay, it's back to me. I think I played this out of order, but luckily for me, I did not take advantage of it. I'm going to go ahead and activate Runica.
Okay.
With her ranged attack 3.
Oh.
I missed 1 of my attack, but I still get to smack your undefended Minotaur for 3. Actually, sorry, 4, because her Battle Fist is still active. Until you smack me, I get a +1 to all my attacks.
Well, I dislike everything about what just happened.
It's funny because everything I just said made me very happy.
The Minotaur has no defense showing, so the Minotaur will take the full brunt of that attack.
I like full brunt. I like the way you use that, Aaron.
I don't like Bruns at all, and I'm especially disappointed because I had actually left a good card on him, but I was playing against the whip and assuming there was going to be some sort of movement or pull going on. Okay, so damage done over there, but that's dispelled a little bit more of the mystery of what's going on with John's turn. But how risky do I want to be over here? No more risky than I've already been. So I'll put up some defense on him a little later than I probably should have. So damage done there. But in terms of how badly that could have gone for me, not as bad as it could have. So protected for the next turn, but I don't really get anything back. I'm really trying to pull out and see what John is trying to do with the Slayer this turn.
Fair point. Fair point. Let's see. I'm going to activate Longshanks, the pirate, next. I'm going to just throw away a parry for a gold.
So there's a second hero to farm this turn, which leaves them defenseless until the next time they activate.
I will eat a non-ideal loss here, which is I'm burning the Bone Spirit, and I will farm again as well. I take the whole stack of gold with me.
Why not?
Why not? I deserve nice things. And so last move to you with our mysterious friend, the Slayer.
Yep, and I accidentally rearranged the cards incorrectly. You were correct. I did have Whiplash.
Oh, this feels really...
Apparently, I'm just too obvious. So my plan was to pull you into my tower and then use range attacks and absolutely smack the crap out of whoever
Oh, folks, this feels so
You
good.
figured me out. You got me.
If I had played the parry correctly, that could have been a perfect defense first turn. That's okay. That's okay.
Well, and at least I think this is clever, even though it failed horribly. So either if you had come to the middle, that would have worked, or if you had passively assaulted me with Agatha Trunch, I could have pulled it off later in the round.
Yep.
I feel
So
like
the
it was
question
very
becomes:
clever,
Are you keeping the 1 defense, or are you going to
despite
farm
the
it?
fact that it failed. Let's see. I'm actually going to keep the 1 defense for now.
All right.
So perfect. That is technically the end of the first turn, or at least we head into cleanup now, and that's relevant because of our friend the Spider Queen. So the Spider Queen has this neat passive that we've spent a lot of time working on in terms of how it reads. So immediately before cleanup here, so after channels and structures, which we didn't have any this round, if this hero is alone, she may move. So she's not alone because I moved somebody towards her in what is a clear and obvious mistake of what I should have done. So great example of having a plan in your head and then having it not work out at all. We usually call that a John when we play this.
We do.
So
Even
not ideal
John
from,
calls it a John.
yeah, so not ideal from my perspective, but not necessarily a bad thing either. I've got a little bit of a bulwark over there. Ideally, I would have perhaps splintered the two of them in more of a horns fashion, so having somebody here and here respectively, allowing me to move the Spider Queen passively over to here. That would have been a pretty aggressive move for me, and I still kind of want to suss out what's going on. So as it so often goes for me, it's a pretty bad first turn, but I also have a strong track record of having good second turn. So let's see where we can get to from here.
So the really fun tactical decision that a lot of people overlook in the cleanup is that you get to throw away as many cards as you don't want, so you can draw a full hand. Fortunately, people don't usually pay attention. I'm throwing away. In this case, I'm throwing away a defend because I don't play defensive. I'm throwing away a dash. And I'm hoping Matt doesn't pay attention to that fact.
Oh, Dash is such a good card. That's so painful for me to see.
Nah.
I mean, I literally turn 1 first activate played a Dash, so I think we're just displaying a different value structure on the card. So
Then John will draw it back up to his hand size.
And I will do the same. I would normally do a little bit of milling of cards as John's done, but I only played 1 hero ability in the first turn. So I have hero abilities in my hand, as John would be aware of, no meta there. And I know what other cards I have in my hand. So I'm going to choose not to mill here based on what I have. So I'll take 3 cards to draw back up.
All right, I will spend 2 gold right there to level up my archer to level 2. That gives him 1 extra hit point because he is the squishiest person in the entire game. And that will give me a card from his tableau into my hand.
That card to be selected secretly. He
Correct.
cannot pick the ultimate card until the hero has reached level 4. And a note for the viewers, while you can see both players' hands face up, like I can, the other player doesn't typically get that advantage. So the hands are closed information to the other player, though you can still make inferences. As Matt said a minute ago, John would know Matt has 3 hero power cards because he started the game with 4 and he only used 1.
So I spent 2 golds on the Minotaur, and then where else do I want to spend my money? So because this is an assassin team and I'm really trying to ride my skill curve here, which is usually early before everybody else has their utilities, I want to be aggressive in spending my money. So John may be a little more strategic in hoarding, although it's John and I hate to ascribe credit and intent where none is usually present. So I think I'm going to spend the 2 gold here. And I think we're going to do something nice for our friend the Spider Queen. I see good things in her future. So we'll level her up as well and see if we can do something interesting.
Okay, and now we will begin the second turn by having each player place their orders face down, and then doing the movement phase, and then the action phase, and then another cleanup phase.
This might be very obtuse and boring to those watching, but to us it's incredibly interesting. This is the meat of the game right here. Secretly and quietly assigning cards.
Secretly and quietly assigning cards is the game. Trying to figure out where the other person's going to put their heroes, I should say. Deciding what cards will and won't be wasted, like the Slayer's Whiplash was wasted last round. This is all an enormous part of the game.
Well, and I think part of it here too is that we took a surprisingly defensive and intelligent first play in terms of our board posture. Usually there's a little bit more combat at the onset of things, so that's not on the table here.
That's because you're used to playing against me, and now you usually charge straight down your gullet. I'm trying for something smart here. Give me some credit, Matt.
Well, there's also very few support characters in the game right now. Right now, we don't have very many of the heroes in the game that would buff up a hero for a surprising first turn smack.
That's a very good point, and that does change the positioning logistics in particular quite a bit. If you've got a support character who needs to kind of follow someone around, we largely have characters that do well by themselves or are used to control other people's position, which is very different for me.
Right. There's very little here that would allow you for a first turn burst, which would reward that kind of aggression by killing someone outright.
Good point.
Also very rare to see nothing get farmed out of the middle spaces on the first turn.
Again, I think a result of how defensively we played that first turn.
I agree.
If you're ready, Matt, I am ready.
Right, let me zoom back in for the movement phase. All right, begin.
Start with a solid piratical yar and run to the middle of the...
Yes, action,
That's what long
excitement,
does.
pistols. Now we're into it, folks. Now it's all happening. So this lets me do something I'm very excited to be able to do, which is to then very kind of safely move the Spider Queen over to there.
All by herself? Shot. Oh.
Gasp!
Gasp.
I declare.
Right. Okay. Let's go ahead and... The archer will surprise everyone by staying right where he is.
What?
As you can
That's
see, the
crazy.
archer's passive rewards the archer for not moving.
That's crazy talk, Mr. Archer. So the Bone Mage will sneak upward from the tower.
Oh, so sneaky.
Oh, so sneaky. Again, I really do want to dive the mid lane. It's killing me to not be able to do it because I know John's going to end up getting that gold and I'm going to be really frustrated about it. And this is what he does with Longshanks. It's just such not a good character and he just sends him for gold and puts the 10 hit points in front of you.
It's amazing how many times I've just used him to get gold and then suddenly kill a tower and you feel so stupid because that's what
As you
he
can
does.
see, Longshanks can transform gold into bonus attack power throughout the game, which means storing up gold is a very good thing to do if you happen to have a grog-addled pirate.
The Slayer will go towards the center.
Let me refresh my memory about what I have played for the werewolf. A very real thing that you will do. And it's actually one of the things that makes this easier to do when you're playing in person is you can really quick look at your cards kind of poker style. A little bit more difficult
It's
to
a little
do.
harder, yeah.
Yeah. I'm old. I don't have a good memory anymore. How risky do I want to be? I feel like we like to live dangerously.
It's actually something almost every time I teach this game, new players, they always ask me, can I look at the cards I placed? And I say, good God, yes. I can't remember what I placed. I can't possibly expect to guess what you placed.
Stone Circle Games does not condone the consumption of alcohol, though much of it was used during the development of this product.
Well, hello, Werewolf. Nice to see you. I'm going to go ahead and bring my Artificer in to say hi to my favorite doggo friend and give him a nice rub.
Okay. Now, I'm going to start by just leaving our friend the Minotaur where he is. This is a good opportunity for me to score some money.
Correct.
Okay, the movement phase has ended, and we will now begin the action phase.
I have a feeling this is going to end with a dead wolf, but we'll see.
I mean, interesting question you knew I was going to ask. How much defense does that wolf have?
At the moment, he has one.
That's awesome. Awesome for you. Okay.
That's
so,
a number. It's a non-zero number, and non-zero numbers are important.
Non-zero number's not that bad. Runica is going to go ahead and activate, I believe, revealing a parry. And if I can, without dragging everything by accident, Tabletop Simulator, throw away
So
her
she
old
will
card. So this is the first time
Discard
we've
her.
had to discard an old card and change her defense to a 2.
Yep.
And that is an attack 4 against your
One.
werewolf.
So I take 3.
Because
Correct.
remember, it is a 3 plus 1 because she still has her artifacts up, which are her special power.
Yep. Okay. Perfect. So I will activate said werewolf. I was expecting this, folks.
His
What you
defense
got for me?
becomes mighty for the turn.
Mighty, mighty. I'm just trying to figure out how to salvage this. I'm going to throw away a rapid shot with my archer to get a gold.
Okay, back to
And I'm just
me.
playing for time.
Yeah. Yep. Funny things about to happen, said the spider. Step into my web. So I will discard a parry, which is a really good card, but I want that bonus gold. That's sweet, sweet, delicious bonus gold.
And you'll get a free move, which is nothing to laugh at.
Nope, that is. We got it right this time. We're batting 500. We'd be in the Hall of Fame if this were basketball.
Okay, I'm going to go for not super unpredictable, but a different kind of defensive. And throw away the pirate's parry to get 2 gold, 1 from this space, and 1 from the pot.
I love it. This is such a strange round. Yeah, this didn't go the way I thought. So I thought this fight was going to take place in this space.
We
I
finally
was
psyched each
hoping-
other out forever.
Yeah. I was hoping for the fight. I was planning for the fight. So I'll discard my parry, which was on him, and then the card that I had assigned, which was Labyrinth. So you can see I was planning on the fight. Because from my perspective, it's a 2-3. It's basically just an upgraded parry, right? So and we know how I feel about parry.
Throw
Sweet
away your
parry.
area parry. Oof. Oh, parry.
likes
No,
parry.
I think parry is the underappreciated workhorse of this game. I
Oh,
know,
completely.
You know, I've talked about this before. The really interesting thing about this game to me is that characters have these awesome, cool powers, and you keep wanting to throw them out, and sometimes they whiff, and that's bad. But the basic cards are so nice and tempting, and if you
Yeah.
overlook the fact that parry is a really solid defense with a good hit, you're not going to win.
All right, so keep us moving, and I'll respond here as well. So I obviously agree with you. Those of you who are watching at home here can see that I have all ability cards in my hand, and that's because, as I mentioned during the draft, you want to be using your abilities when the moment is right. So I've been strategically depleting John of abilities and resources here, and we're pretty even on the gold curve as well. All of that's to my advantage right now. Nope, Bone Mage is also going to farm for gold.
Also going to farm.
All right,
Yep.
so let's take a quick moment to appreciate that this turn, 6 of the heroes farmed for additional money to prepare for a future turn. John has 1 hero card in his hand, and Matt has a handful of hero cards. The next turn, in which the red team has initiative, is going to be a rockin' one.
Spider Queen, before we do cleanup, would you like to do anything interesting?
I would. What I'm trying to decide is how aggressive and how interesting the move I want to make, said the spider to the fly as she pondered her meal. I think that I'll try something new and perhaps ideal. So because of the way the spider's initiative and her move is written here, so she gets to move after towers and structures have activated. So this tower's already fired for the round, folks. So the Spider Queen gets to step up here, and we'll see what she's able to do. I don't have a defense card down, but we activate first, so I am going to get a chance to do some stuff here.
That brings turn 2 to a close, and that means the initiative changes back over to the red team. That also means we go into cleanup, so that means we're going to be spending gold, discarding cards, rebuilding our hands, and that I will zoom out so we can appreciate this. Let's get going.
All right, so John, what are we getting for end of turn gold here?
All right, we each get 2.
Delicious, delicious gold.
I know, so much gold, and there's so much gold on the table. There's going to be a lot of cards turned out. This is going to be exciting.
Yes, it is.
Since I had initiative last turn, I technically have to declare my upgrades first. I'm going to do something I know you've seen me do a number of times. I'm going to go ahead and dump 5 gold into leveling the pirate up to level 3, which gives me 2 cards. And then I'm going to spend 2 gold to bring the Slayer up to level 2. And that's all I can afford.
Okay, so I'm sitting on $7. I'm rich. So we're gonna start by leveling up the werewolf for the first time here. So I'm gonna put the 2 gold over and hope somebody magically custodies that for me. And I know exactly what ability I want.
So John gets to select 1 new card for the Slayer and 2 new cards for the Pirate, while Matt will be selecting 1 new card for the Werewolf.
Yeah, how do I want to play this? I think it's time for a fight. He said not out loud to anyone in particular.
And at this pat, John would be aware that Matt has nothing but hero powers in his hand.
That sounds.
That's not really going to be changing.
Go ahead and throw away a dash, and despite what I said before, which was sound advice, I stand by. I'm going to throw away a parry for reasons that Matt will never figure out. I'll go my grave defending.
Why are you? It feels deliberate. It feels deliberate and hurtful in a specific way I don't enjoy.
Nothing I do is deliberate, Matt.
Matt has leveled the Bone Mage and has taken another power card for the Bone Mage as well. And John's deck is now exhausted, so the next time John needs to draw a card, he will flip his discard pile back over without shuffling it to simulate the cooldowns of the cards he's already used.
So this is where you see a little bit of the fruits of my labor in terms of how I was a bit more successful farming than John was. I'm going to elect to hold some of this gold because I don't need any more ability cards, and I don't really think I need the hit points at the moment either. So I'm going to save that gold, recognizing that we're probably going to be doing a little more fighting than farming this turn. And I'll draw back up my last 2 cards. First, I'll throw that card at the heroes over there. Take that, undrafted pawns. You know what you did.
That's the Paladin. He's so sad. All right, so this is the orders phase again, and again, they're thinking, which is why the players aren't doing as much bantering during this stage, because this really is the heart and soul of setting up for the next turn. Once the cards are down, they're down, and only a couple of heroes have powers that can affect that, and none of them are in this particular game. So they need to try to predict where are people going to move, what defensive values do they have now, what defensive values are they likely to have, and put the orders down that are going to best optimize their team for the turn ahead. Now, it's very possible to juke. Like we saw in the first two turns, there was a lot of evasive movements that made the orders less than desirable. But this turn, I think that with 1 red hero at a blue tower and with 1 red hero surrounded by blue heroes, we're going to see a bit of a rumble.
One can only hope.
Now, it's typically seen as an advantage to move last, but an advantage to act first, which is the oscillation of the initiative has a big impact there. So the red team will need to make the first movement, and it does so by moving the Bone Mage south in front of the tower.
The defensive posturing continues.
The archer will defensively
Defend.
still.
Right. And remember, when the archer
controlling
fails to
this half
move,
of the board as he does.
yes. Now that the archer has failed to move, a basic attack can hit any space in range. So that gives them a very wide net.
Walk into my net, Matt. Walk into my net.
Oh, you. You're so cute. No, so I'm gonna leave Agatha right where she is. I'm playing the worst Minotaur you're ever gonna see, folks. This super map mobile tank, and I'm just sitting here soaking up gold in the top lane. It's glorious.
The Slayer will move into the range of the tower.
Egads!
Egads, he is surprising. He said unsurprised.
Well, that is a deliberate and bold move.
I would describe it as hostile.
Well, yes. The defensive player would see it that way.
I mean, that's only if you value your towers.
I'm gonna stay where I am right there.
Ooh.
All right.
All right. Well, then the pirate will. Pirates don't abandon their buddies. That's in the pirate's code. He's going to go after the Slayer.
Oh, well, wolves before bros. Everybody knows that.
True. Here comes the artificer.
All right, so
Okay.
this is happening, folks. Posture, 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 explosion fight.
All right. Red has the
Fun.
first initiative.
Fun.
Yes, I do. And so now we basically see how effective, because I did get the outcome I was looking for, how effective what I've engineered and what it's going to do for me, I can't say. Hurroo!
All right. So Matt has activated the Howl ability with 2 defense and an area 2 attack.
All right, so that does nothing to Runica. It does do 2 damage each to my pirate and my...
But more importantly, one does not just hear the cry of the werewolf and simply ignore it. One is shaken to its core.
I am immobilized.
So each
Long
hero
chance
that was
pirate,
hit.
we will flip them upside down.
Yes.
And Slayer will be flipped upside down. They are immobilized.
So this was a little bit of what I was hoping for. Had I been more confident that John was really going to fully commit, and I probably should have, knowing John, I would have slid the Minotaur back to the space over here so he'd be more available next turn. But John's also now overcommitted on my side of the board and immobilized. So now how well can I manage this side of the board? Because I have a pretty big advantage on his side now.
So I think I figured the timing out, though. I am going to reveal a strike on my pirate Longshanks and spend the gold to boost it to an attack 5 against the central tower there. So against the defense of the tower, that is 4 damage on the tower.
Oh,
It was what? 4 damage?
Yep.
4.
Okay, so we go down to 7 hit points on that tower.
Where,
And that completes the pirate's turn.
It does.
Where do I think you assigned your other strike, dear John? I'm curious and hopeful I play this next card correctly to survive the oncoming damage. So, Bowmage will activate Freeze Soul. So I get to apply 4 chill tokens to somebody. I've already taken a big shot from the pirate. Ideally, I would have gotten those on him, but we needed to make sure everybody wasn't getting away first. I didn't want people getting defensive cards up. So between the Slayer and Runica, I'm honestly a little bit more worried about what the Slayer is up to. So I'm going to put the 4 chill tokens on the Slayer.
4 chill tokens on the Slayer. I will grab 4 of those. 1,
Chill tokens will reduce
2,
his next attack
3,
by 4 damage,
4.
which will neutralize all but the most powerful attacks.
That stinks. All
Yes.
right.
John's exasperation portends good things for our friendly neighborhood red team.
It does. It does. Let me see. That's the Bone Mage account for. I'm just like the fact that I know what's going on now. So let's go ahead and activate Runica. We'll throw away that parry. And there's another strike. It's again, attack 5. So 4 more damage to your tower.
Boy, I don't know if I'm able to stop you now, he says with dread.
Well, 4 chill tokens is going to help.
Yeah, but I don't have anybody else coming to you right now. That's a lot of damage. I'll keep the tower up. So had I not done this, we're watching.
Oh, yeah. Had you not done that, the tower would have absolutely fallen this turn.
Yep, so I'm going to put some damage into your guys, which was very nice. So, I suppose this doesn't matter, but it still behooves me to pull it from you. So the Minotaur will do exactly what you think the Minotaur's up to, which is just discarding and farming again. Minotaur. Why move? Why move when there's so much gold here?
Why move when my whole power is based on moving? The archer is going to do something you wouldn't expect from me, I think, and reveal a defend.
Oh, this is so good.
Look at that. I'm trying to keep the archer alive.
This is good. You're right about how aggressive I played this turn, but you're wrong about what I was trying to do. So I'm also just taking a pot shot at your tower.
This will be 3 damage to the tower because the spider has no bonuses to per attack. You can go ahead and click it, Lil.
It's
Alright.
a strike.
Yep. So I'm going to take a little bit of damage, but I wanted to get a shot into the tower and figure out what was going on.
Right.
Okay,
So
I have
for this
4 chill
turn,
tokens.
the Slayer will finish the turn.
He will. And just a clarification, do chill tokens burn off when I activate or when I attack?
When you activate.
So it doesn't matter whether I burn this card or...
Flipping it over will
Attacking.
just preserve its defense value for the next turn. Farming with
Right,
it will
but if
make
it happens to be a strike, which is for the Slayer attack 5, but -4 is attack 1, which does nothing against a tower, I'll just burn it for the coin.
Yep. And so
and
that
burn those chill tokens.
freeze worked
So
a
that's
lot like a stun
still-
would.
Still well played for Matt because, again,
Now the
he
tower's attack.
saved his tower. But
And that ends this. That ends the action phase, and then we go to the cleanup phase. But the cleanup phase can't begin until structures have gone and channeled abilities have gone in the opposite order that I just said. So channeled abilities would go, and then there are none of those right now, and so now the towers will fire, and the towers will fire this turn, 2 of
a
them.
lot.
The one where the spider is will go first.
Yep. Towers fire for 3.
Yep. So spider eats all 3 damage because she has no defense showing. And then the tower will fire upon all of the blue heroes here. There are 3 such heroes, and they'll each take an area 3 attack. So we'll mitigate it by whatever defense might be showing. The pirate has none, and will take the full 3 damage. Runica has none, aside from her auto deflector, so she will only take 2 damage. And the final hero there is the Slayer, who has no card showing, and he will take the full 3 damage as well. So that tower was very effective.
All right, so I've got my cards. I've leveled up my heroes. I'm
John
not
is taking-
confident. Go ahead.
Sorry. I was going to say, John has taken his 2 coins and must decide what to do with the 3 he has total.
We have dealt with. Didn't we need to deal with tower hitting my pirate? Yeah.
We already did. I didn't move any of the hit points, though.
Well then, moving the hit points is an essential part of dealing damage from the tower. So I will
Right,
go ahead
so
and do that.
Pirate takes 3, Runica takes 2, and Slayer takes 3. And when Runica is hit, I believe
Correct,
you
she
lose.
will lose one of her.
Yes.
I will take away her amulet.
Amulet
And I will
turns
lose
off.
3 hit points from the Slayer. Okay. Got my 2 gold. I need to think what I'm going to do with that.
I would honestly advocate nothing.
You know what? That's a solid stance.
But your pirate is close to level 4. If you spend nothing, you'll be able to level him next turn,
But I
even
can't
if you fail
afford it. So
horribly.
I'm going to go ahead and spend 2 to level up Runica.
All right.
1 more level.
Oh,
So
actually,
Runica-
sorry. We have one more thing from this turn now that I get to do.
Mhm. The spider gets to move. That's correct. All right.
Hello.
Okay.
You wanna be best friends? I'm here now. Hoping you wanna hang around. I
Alright.
could be your spider pal.
Now, both players have a hand full of hero power cards and must decide if they want to discard any of them in order to rifle through their decks a little faster.
I have to do my 2 health as well here with
Yep.
the werewolf. Oh, see, this is nice. I'm feeling as though a lot of my turns kind of came to fruition there. The saving of the coins, the farming. It looks passive, and it was, but you get to hopefully appreciate the play that I had in mind here. But let's see if it works out. You can't count your chickens until John's dead.
That's
I
right.
appreciate
Remember.
nothing, especially chickens.
So the werewolf is one of the new heroes that is in the Pixelvania hero pack, and as you saw, the area immobilized was very powerful, but it also sets up the werewolf's next turn because he will heal, as Matt just did at the end of the cleanup phase, and he will gain some attack tokens at the end of the movement phase. Once the werewolf has used all of his powers, he will have a difficult time.
Oh, goodness gracious, folks. Okay, so heading into next turn here then. So I need to first draw up or decide if I'm discarding. I don't want to. I would normally consider discarding here because of how many abilities I have, but candidly, I think I'm going to want to have access to the utility of all the ability cards. So I'll draw 2 more.
Right, so Matt still has not exhausted his deck, but John in the blue side has exhausted his deck and has flipped it back over.
Yep,
And John
and
is
I
already
think
well on his way to the order phase. What was
Yep,
that?
and I think I was gonna
I'm
say, and
working
I think
on it. I'm
that's
working on it.
that's a reflection of how many more ability cards John played than I did. We had very different approaches to this, and there's no right or wrong answer, which is, I think, one of the best things about this game.
Absolutely. So while the players debate their orders phase, we can take stock of the board. We see that there is a big mess in front of the red base. The red tower is in serious jeopardy of falling. The blue base is in less serious jeopardy, but the spider is very much alone with the squishy archer, and the spider is very hungry.
Give me one
Minotaur
sec.
continues to be camping. I think he's finished his bologna sandwich, though. I suspect he'll be on the move.
I've been working a lot on that because I have a 6-month-old son, and he thinks that my cackle laugh is funny, so I've been getting a lot of bad guy practice.
Very important. You did draft mostly bad guys.
Well, I developed most of the set, and it's the Pixelvania set. They're mostly bad creatures. Or let's say they're creatures who are misunderstood and have dark powers. I think it's aggressive of you to assume their character.
Very villainous. You may have designed many of the heroes, but I designed the lore.
That's very true.
So it looks like we have the order set on the blue side, which means he can begin taunting Matt while Matt picks his last card.
Okay. I've picked my last card. Sorry, John. When you actually have options, it takes longer to play out the turn.
All right, so all the orders have been placed, and it is time for the movement phase. I'll zoom in to facilitate that. And the initiative has gone to the blue player, who has 2 immobilized heroes and very few options.
I disagree. I have so many options. So my first move is going to be to turn Longshanks straight up.
Rawr,
Control of it. Rawr!
You know nothing of my works.
And remember, the Minotaur will gain an attack token for moving.
Correct, which burns
That
off
is-
after
That
the
is
end of
its
the turn,
power.
but it's there.
Having not
Surprisingly,
moved a
I
minute
will
forward, attack all
flip
game.
the Slayer as my second movement. Rawr!
I told you!
When one has no options, one takes the option that one has. There's wisdom there, I know it.
I'll move
Is
the
that
Spider
really the
Queen.
sound the spider makes?
Skitter.
Skip,
Yeah.
skip, 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 skip.
Skiddity beep bop doodly dee bee da.
The
Disagree.
only hero who is not immobilized will stand still.
Scott Queen. The Bow Mage will stay where he is.
And the archer, because it's the archer, will stay still.
Werewolf will stay where he is.
Okay, that ends the movement phase. At the end of the movement phase, the werewolf, if it has a werewolf card face up, will get 2 +1 attack tokens, which Matt will collect.
I have collected.
All right, we'll zoom out
So
slightly so you can see the power cards. And we will now begin the action phase with, again, the green side, the blue player, will begin.
Woo! Let's see. Remembering the cards that I have, and looking at the Bone Mage and the Werewolf, having...
It is hopefully a good sign. I know exactly what cards I've played.
Where's the Bone Mage? I just want to see how many defense the Bone Mage is. 2.
And he's also at 13 hit points. Hello.
Yeah, that was not what I cared about. I will activate my Pirate. Longshanks with a Vast. I will spend a gold to boost that to attack 3.
You piece of garbage. You stunned me out of an ultimate.
Yeah, I did. So that's 1 damage, but more importantly, as Matt already foretold, I stunned him out of an ultimate.
Your family will know of this.
So when a character is stunned, this is the first time it's happened this game, they lose all the cards they have, face up or face down. So the Bone Mage loses the ability to act, and the Pirate drinks some grog in his memory.
Oh, he will. But more importantly, the Bone Mage is also immobilized. Har, 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 har.
Makes you want to punch the Pirate, doesn't it?
Or punch John.
No. It makes me want to drag the Slayer away. So the werewolf activates. And I swing for 4 at the Slayer.
With a pierce of 1, but it doesn't matter because there's no defense up on the Slayer, so it strikes him.
I'll see if that hurts.
Come with me, sir.
Where are we going? Somewhere fun?
I just wanted to show you this new place I've heard of. It's called Another Tower.
Well, a different tower where I wasn't. Awesome. Fun.
So the Slayer's taken damage and has been repositioned to another tower that's more sturdy. Back to John.
I know this is a very interesting turn. I feel like I had a very bad start and then a good recovery. We'll see where it goes from here.
Yeah, I screwed my cards.
Where the heck is?
I don't know. You're making it worse, Aaron. I know that.
Don't call attention to it.
Let's fix this. Let's just stop for a second and fix this problem.
How many hit points do you have, werewolf?
10.
Cool. You have more hit points than I do.
I do.
Do you have anything that will stop me from hitting you?
Nope.
You do not. So I'm going to reveal Stake, which is an attack 3, Pierce 3. It's +2 attack if my target has more hit points than I do, which you do. So it's an attack 5, Pierce 3.
Oh, the Pierce doesn't matter. That certainly hurts. You have to stab the werewolf to death. Sir, you know you need silver bullets, sir. Sir, I'm not a vampire. You're about to die.
Almost die.
Alright. So, the Slayer has staked the werewolf and damaged it. The Slayer has been bitten in the process. And now it is the red player's turn. Red player must choose the heroes on the aggressive side of the map and must leave the defense to its towers.
I will lurk.
Right, the spider lurks. This has the stealth effect, which is Matt's favorite effect.
It is when I use it, so I attack the tower for 2. And I am now untargetable by whatever shenaniganry the assassin may be up to. Or, excuse me, the archer.
Don't worry about me.
That's usually
I'm more
the right
interested
play.
in your undefended Agatha Trunch,
I figured.
which Sterling the Archer will activate with parry, but because he did not move, he gets to use a range attack of 3 damage against your Agatha Trunch.
I will take all of them. That's unfortunate.
Yeah, no, you're in a lot of trouble.
Yep, I know. We're both in a lot of trouble. I genuinely don't know how this is going to go. It's fun. Okay. Well.
Go ahead, Agatha.
Hello. Agatha's just going to gore your tower for 6.
So.
Yep. They would normally be attack 3s, but the +1 attack token makes them 4s, and the defense of the tower makes them 3s again, which is significant damage to that tower.
That's quite a bit.
That should be more hurt than that. I had done 2 damage and I just did 6
A total
more.
of 8 damage was dealt to the tower, so it should be at 3 health.
Yes.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Yep. Thank you.
Still standing? Excellent.
Yeah, we're in pretty similar positions and we're both similarly hurt. I don't have a good feel for where this is going other than I hate you for stunning me out of the ult.
Well, Runica
And
gets a turn.
again, as long as you hate me, I am happy.
Yeah, that's the definition of our friendship.
Go
ahead, buddy.
That's not the card I played. Just a second.
That would be an illegal move.
Yeah, no, because I don't have that card yet. Yep, there it is. Nope.
Folks, don't try this at home. And by don't try
this
this
is
at
a
home,
purely TTS problem. If you could
Sure.
give me
happens to a lot of guys.
Impact. Impact is what I played.
Not helping.
Okay, there we go. It is an attack 3. It gains interrupt. Didn't really matter this time because I thought he was going to do something very different, but fine. So that's an attack 4 against your tower here.
Okay, so that does kill the tower.
Tower falls.
Boom! Which does 3 damage immediately to the bit.
Oh, I'm not an admin, so I can't take the bit down. Or I can't take the tower
How
down.
much did you do damage to the bit or not? You did 3 damage to the bit.
Yeah,
The
tower's
tower falls,
destroyed.
but I honestly don't know how to remove it.
Yeah, I think John has to
It
remove
doesn't. It doesn't remove. I don't think.
Wow.
Oh,
That's
wait,
deep.
no, I can unlock it, and then we can delete it.
Yeah! We didn't
Yay.
start the fire. Oh, sorry, that's a protected song. We didn't do the thing.
We
All right.
didn't get sued for the things we say when we said the things that we didn't say.
As our newest legal advisor, I'd like to suggest we sing something different.
Happy- Oh, no, no, no.
No!
All right, that ends the action phase, and now we go into pre-cleanup, which means that channeled abilities fire. There are none, and the structures will fire, and there are 2 relevant structures. The first will be this one.
Cool. So that's an attack 3 against my Slayer with a defense 2. So that's 1 damage. He's not dead, but he is right on the door.
Can I tell you how disheartened I am about this?
And now the
Free
Minotaur and the
attack.
Spider both get
I get that and the
waxed.
spider.
Yep, so they each take 3.
I think the Spider has a defense of 1.
Oh, yeah, he does.
So Spider only takes 2.
I love how this is going for our heroes.
All right, the cleanup phase now begins, or rather ends. So, or the cleanup phase happens. So everyone gets their $2.
And I
Werewolf will
heal.
heal by 2 because it has a werewolf power up, and that's what it does.
Hooray!
No one's happy about that.
I'm happy about it.
I mean, that's
Initiative will change over to red, and heroes will begin to be leveled up. Gold will be spent, cards will be
buy
discarded.
Nothing, but I will throw things away like crazy because I need to cycle my darn deck.
All right, so John's hand is full. Matt is still filling his hand.
I'm about to get. Aha! So I have flipped my deck finally.
So he'll get his powers back.
I have saved game state because TTS is a fickle mistress.
Please do. I also want to, I think, save the recording and start over.
I have initiative, which is good because I'm in somewhat dire straits.
I actually had forgotten when I looked over the board. I'm a little bit bummed that you have initiative. This would be a lot more fun if you didn't, but we work with what we have.
Yes, no, I know. I'm very excited I have initiative, but now I also need to use the initiative in like every square of the board.
Let's start the movement. Let's see if you can shock me with your first movement.
No.
What?
It's the bone mage stands.
I'm shocked.
Yeah.
Okay, well that makes sense.
Well, he's my tank at this point. So.
Yeah. He's what we have that passes for a tank. So number 1, the artificer is going to go ahead and just
No, that's
all the way down
ignorant.
towards your bit for no particular reason.
So many more hit points on the artificer than you should.
I really do.
It's such a problem. Oh my god, you and long shakes. Yeah, this is gonna just end
In
in my bloody.
retrospect, I should have punched them harder.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna end in bloody destruction here. Okay. Well, bully. I obviously send the werewolf at you because. Rawr.
Makes sense. Well, obviously, Longshanks will follow the artificer. That's fun.
Let me see. What do I play? Think that thing. Use that handsome. Okay.
That thinking head you have.
Use that thinking head you have. I will leave the Spider Queen where she is.
Okay. So I think I will move the Slayer over here out of the range of your tower.
Boo!
Surprise!
Boo. what else do I want to do here? And then I will also leave the Minotaur where he is.
Okay. Sterling the Archer will back up my bit. Thus shifting my control of the board.
You piece of shit.
Yes.
Oh, guys, I'm
Those
so...
activation. This is going to be interesting. I have a couple ideas. I don't know they're going to work out, but
No, everything's bad. I just have no good conceit of where this is going to go. Like, I don't know any world in which it's good for me, but I think it kind of has to start with me doing at least a little bit of damage.
probably should.
Thanks, Other John.
Be best for you, yeah.
So I'm going to activate the Bone Mage.
All right.
Bone Spirit. I'm going to execute the Slayer.
That will attack Pierce. That is going to be enough to kill him.
Yep.
Alrighty, well done. So that's 3 damage to my bit. That is 2 gold for your side.
Money dollars.
Let's go ahead and discard him, and then all his cards get thrown on top of him. My plan, just in case I didn't die, was to use Whiplash to pull your Bone Mage back towards me.
Oh, yeah. No,
and
that's...
get you further away from stopping me. Figured
Yeah.
That was the interesting thing I thought about trying.
Yeah, and I debated whether I wanted to try and burn down one of your guys over there. I don't think there's a right answer here. I'm pretty sure I'm just up a creek without a paddle, but we'll see.
All right. Seems likely. I'm going to go ahead and activate Longshanks the Pirate.
No.
The shock of everyone. He does have Plunder, which is my area attack. I will pay 1 gold to pump that up. So I believe that's 3 true damage to your tower, 4 true damage to your werewolf, and I get a gold back. Yay! Pirate stuff.
Sorry, it should be 5, so yeah. Okay. All right. That's... God, I freaking hate that pirate. Up Warlock. I'm going to activate the Minotaur because I don't have a ton of reason not to, just to see if I get lucky here. And I will put 2 more damage into the tower and put a little bit of defense on her anyway.
Is it true attack of 3?
Yeah, it's attack 3, so I did
it's down to one hit point.
Yeah, I did a little bit of math for you. You're welcome, honey.
Aw.
Yeah. I know. That spoils you.
This tower is probably going down, which is fun. My archer will activate.
Yeah, I kind of figured.
Yep. With rapid shot, which should not surprise you. So that's 2 attack 3s, and them's both going on. I think your Spider Queen has very little defense.
Yes, but she also has stealth, so you're not targeting her.
She has stealth right now?
Yeah.
I guess that means your trench is getting hit for 2 damage.
Which is the exact number you needed, unfortunately. Yeah, I had sort of a funny feeling that I was going to lose her this turn.
Oops. 1, 2. My 3 damage, my 3 gold.
Actually, sorry, that would be...
And that would be 3 more life from your bit.
Yeah. Folks, it's not looking great for our hero over here.
Looking awesome for me, hero.
I know. It's so disheartening. Okay, I will activate the werewolf. It's got a 2 defense showing. Pirate's got a 1. I will put a 6 damage swing into the pirate.
6 base.
Yep.
Less 1 is 5 damage. That does hurt. He's not long of this world.
No. I'm not gonna be able to stop you though.
Runica will activate with a not my ult. Oh goodness. The strike, there it is.
For 4 more.
That is 5, so 4 true damage on your bit.
Yep. So
brings us down to 3.
Yep. And you activate first, so I think in the interest of time here and recognizing how this would probably go if we were playing this in person, this is where I would probably look at you and say, I think you've got me. There's really no realistic way at this point in which I can stop you. Even if I get the Bone Mage in, even if I buy ults, you activate first next round. There's just no world in which you're not putting 3 more damage into the bit.
Seems very likely. I think you're gonna come very close to killing the pirate. You'll definitely be able to finish him off if you want, because the tower is gonna hit me.
Yeah, I waited a turn too long to go after the archer. I needed to just eat the tower damage, go with the archer earlier with the Spider Queen, immobilize him, and just send Agatha in and just beat you up. And I just was a little too passive about it. It's funny because I made the right play to get the spider behind you on turn 2, and then I proceeded to use her in the most ineffective ways possible, while just being completely zone controlled by the archer. And then Agatha. And then Agatha farming. Yeah, those were the.
Yeah, and that
to me, it's not even your
the
stuff.
thing
Go
you
ahead.
point out. You keep pointing out to me, and I know Aaron keeps pointing this out. He keeps saying the archer's not that good. The archer's not that good.
Oh,
The archer's not that good, but the archer is great at doing zone control. I'm not going to do a lot of damage, but I always have that possibility of hitting you from wherever you are. So you can't avoid me.
Yeah, well, and it's funny that Aaron talks about the Fire Mage being like it's easy for me. Yes, the Fire Mage is basically one of like the only characters right now who can essentially just look at the archer and be like, no, I'm not. What are you doing?
It's interesting you bring that up, because I think one of our stretch goal heroes we've got hiding behind the veil there is exactly designed as a counter draft to the archer. So it's interesting.
Hey, it's so funny. There are 2 of our stretch heroes that I was really thinking about that I would have enjoyed having played more with this comp, probably in lieu of Agatha. I really, really, really would have enjoyed having the Banshee that you and I co-developed.
Oh, absolutely.
I think that would have been really helpful here with a little bit of that range magic damage that you sort of noted I was missing, or just range damage in general, and just that weird movement survivability that she has. She's like the other side of the Spider Queen, where the Spider Queen's all about pinning you down and then doing damage when you can't escape, and she has you one-on-one. The Banshee is just about frustratingly not taking damage when she's around you and then executing you.
Right, well, and just messing with timing, too.
And just messing with timing.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would have helped me here quite a bit. There are definitely opportunities for more synergy, and I think to wrap it back to a little bit of actionability here, that's the good part of a game like this. I'm not frustrated about losing, although I don't enjoy losing to you ever in any game, let alone this one. We're already talking about how I could do it differently and wanting to play it next time, and I think that's important.
And there's a couple of things for viewers that haven't played as much as we have, which is not many. This game was actually a lot closer than it may seem at first blush, because you're definitely gonna take down one of my 2 heroes. That's 3 damage to your bit. You're gonna get this tower. That's 3 more damage to my bit. And then you got an open entrance, and you're really not far behind where I am. You're really only around behind me in terms of killing the bit. And so this is something I think I've seen a lot with aggressive, experienced players, which is what we are. We're not the smartest, we're not the best, but we're aggressive. We played a lot, and it's really an interesting dance of just getting that one round ahead and realizing, okay, wait, I'm closer than he is. I've got a little bit of damage. If I run now, I can get there first. I'm not gonna be able to defend my stuff, but I can win before it's over.
Yeah, I think that's stunningly well put, John. I completely agree. And I think our first turn played out that way, where we almost had like mirror moves in terms of how we were kind of dancing around each other. You're right. And there's a lot of different strategies here. You and I have both run the 2-2 against each other before, where there's 2 heroes in each of the 2 lanes and having an empty lane. That's really strange to play against and does some weird things in the initial rounds as well. So lots of stuff that we could do differently when we play next time. I'll just make sure you've had a little bit more rum or mead. I don't like how coherent your approach or analysis has been in any of this.
It frightens me even more.
All right, well, this is Matt Kisner, loser and lead developer of the Battle for Biternia Pixelvania Hero Pack, and I am here and joined once again by, and I'll let him introduce himself since he was the winner tonight.
Jonathan Texar Moffat, the winner for now until the next game, most likely. But I do some of the things I got away with, which is always nice.
There you go. Truer words are never spoken. We hope you enjoyed this. We hope you learned a little bit about the gameplay. If you have questions for us, feel free to reach out to us across any of the various social medias where Stone Circle Games is available. And if you've taken the time to listen or watch this far, thank you so much. And we hope you'll consider backing and getting your own copy of not just Battle for Biternia, but the Pixelvania Hero Pack as well. We don't think you'll be disappointed. Take care and stay safe, everybody.
Thank you. Peace.
I definitely showed what the werewolf is about. I thought he was stunningly effective.
You know, win, lose, or draw, as long as I can prove that the pirate is hilarious. I win.
Yeah, I know. You have such noble goals.
Right.
Truly.
Oh.